fellas. We can be that mistake. Let's do this. What's up, y'all?
Hey, guys.
We're Embrace the Suck 21.
Yes, we are.
I'm Spencer.
And I'm Daniel.
I am so excited for today's video. It is, because it's America Week, we're checking out American stuff. And this is my idol, Jeff Gordon, 4-time NASCAR Cup Series champion. Today we're going to check out his top 10 wins.
How does he rank on the most winningest?
He is number 3.
He's number 3?
Richard Petty has 200. David Pearson has 105 wins. Jeff Gordon has 93 wins.
Wow.
So, yeah. And he retired in 2015. And he's been the Fox Sports analyst for a few years. And then he's like second in command at Hendrick Motorsports.
There you go.
So, yep, already off the bat, got some little tidbits in there.
There you go.
So, without further ado, if you have any questions, just tap me.
I will.
I know you will. So, let's go.
Let's do it.
With it being the NASCAR offseason, I, like many fans, like watching old races, and naturally, many of these races are won by Jeff Gordon. It got me thinking, which of Gordon's best wins are his best? Well, that's what we're going to look at today, the top 10 wins of Jeff Gordon's career. Basically, the only prerequisite for this is that the race has to be a cup event that Jeff Gordon has won. So, let's get to it. At number 10, we have the 1994 Coca-Cola 600, Jeff Gordon's first win. Now, starting out in 1993, Gordon was a promising 21-year-old rookie. While not winning a race, the groundwork was laid out for great things in 94. And in 94, they would begin rolling in.
Bobby Hillin was 22.
Man, I had to be in there somewhere when I won my first one.
They don't remember back that far.
Okay.
White flag. One to go. Coming around the Daytona 500 winner, Sterling Marlin. Looking up, Jimmy Spencer just in front of him. Boy, this is a moment.
He's diving along.
Set on the pole at 181.439. He will become only the 5th driver in 35 years to win the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte, North Carolina from the pole. Checkers are out, and they are down, and it is Jeff Gordon victorious this evening on this Memorial Weekend.
What does he mean by on the pole?
On the pole?
Yeah.
That means he qualified first. That's pole position.
Oh.
That means you roll off the grid first. You qualified first.
Oh, wow. So he just stayed in front.
I mean, yeah, he won. I mean, not the whole time. Like, he didn't lead every single lap, but he won. He finished where he started.
Wow.
Yeah. And, like, only his second season, like, he's, like, in his early 20s. Like, you got to remember, at this time, like, the average age of a NASCAR driver was, like, mid-30s into the 40s. Having this young kid, not from the South, win at the top level was like, a huge deal. Yeah.
Okay, so to put it in perspective, because I feel like this goes with any sport, it's debatable on who's the GOAT, right?
Yeah.
Right? Just like Jordan, LeBron stuff, right?
Yeah.
Who is he competing against?
For the GOAT title?
No, just what is this era? Who does this era include?
The early 90s, Dale Earnhardt, Rusty Wallace, Bill Elliott, Dale Jarrett, who else? Sterling Marlin. That's Mark. Did I say Mark Martin? I don't know if I did. But those are the greats of that time. Davey Allison.
So he
was
had
still alive.
Steep competition.
He did. Yeah.
All right. So he wasn't like just racing against rookies.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Now I called another one.
You're in good company.
No, they did the right thing.
Races of them all, the Coca-Cola 600. Let me walk in here and try and get a word with this young man. Jeff, a fantastic day for you. A great call on the pitch. You guys deserve to go to victory lane. Great job.
I'm speechless, man. I mean, this is the greatest day of my life. I don't know what to say. I mean, you know, it's a wonderful feeling, but I owe so much to this crew. I told everybody we weren't going to be fast at the beginning, and then we'd be there when it got dark and the lights came on. It's exactly what this thing did. You know, this car's named after my fiance Brooke, and I love her very much. And this is just, I mean, unbelievable feeling. But you know, I got to thank Rick Hendrick, Chevrolet, DuPont especially. But this crew, I mean, they made that decision. I just drove the wheels off of.
At number 9,
Yeah. First of all, like, he was also given a lot of shit because he was crying in the victory lane, and that was something people just didn't do back then at NASCAR.
Yep.
And I will say that his first wife, Brooke,
First wife, yeah.
that was a big mess in the early 2000s.
Was it?
Yeah, but now he's remarried to a much better woman and has 2 kids by her. So
cool.
that's good. So let's go to the number 9 here.
we have to fast forward to the new millennium with the 2002 Sharpie 500 at Bristol. At the time, Jeff Gordon was stuck in a then unprecedented 31-race winless streak. And it seemed like the 02 Bristol night race would be the perfect opportunity to break through and break the streak. All he had to do was pass Bristol ace Rusty Wallace, who himself was in the midst of a 49-race winless streak.
Damn.
Ooh, Rusty didn't get off a 2 at all that time. Here comes Gordon, right up against the back bumper. Everybody in the crowd on their feet.
And as I said, the slow of the traffic, I think, caused that right there.
Here comes Gordon, right up to the bumper again.
Did you hear that wheel spin, Benny? Yeah, I did hear that wheel spin.
The bump and run.
There it is.
There.
Underneath to the lead. 2 laps to go. Can Rusty come back?
Jeff better hope not.
31 races since Jeff Gordon has been to victory lane. The much publicized dry spell could come to a close in 1 more lap around the Bristol half mile. He dominated the opening part of the race, got caught back in traffic after a late pit stop, but the bump and run is going to get Jeff Gordon the checkered flag at the end of the winless streak. Gordon wins the Sharpie 500 at Bristol.
Wow.
He just got to me where he could hit me. I was trying desperately to knock the out of him. I just couldn't catch him.
At number 8, we have the 20.
Yeah.
So that's crazy that you can bump and run.
Hell yeah. It's what separates NASCAR from a lot of other motorsports is that, you know, these are very solid machines and you can beat and bang with
Heaven
them.
forbid you bump. You can't bump and run on a Formula One car.
Hell no. Like you tear up the suspension. Yeah, you can race dirty with them, but you can't, you know, bump and run with them.
You can't shove someone.
And that is a classic
Wow.
NASCAR move right there.
The bump and run.
Yeah, he learned a lot from Dale Earnhardt Sr. Like, he was notorious for
The bump and run.
And now it's just common practice every day. And that's a whole other thing is the rivalry between Dale Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon. Dale Earnhardt being from the South, North Carolina, the black number 3, you know, rough and tumble, and then Jeff Gordon, this pretty boy from the San Francisco area. At the time, a rainbow car. Now it's a flamed car.
Yeah.
The contrast between them, and you know, he learned a lot of rough and tumble. Gordon learned a lot of rough and tumble things from Earnhardt.
I feel like you have to adapt to where you get plugged in.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's the ones that adapt the best that make it their moments.
Yeah.
Like, that make the best moment. Make it theirs. I
Yeah.
want to say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I just remember, you know, this was right after he won his 4th championship in 2001, and this was his first win of the season in September.
Wow.
The season goes basically from Valentine's Day to Thanksgiving.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I mean, now they've kind of shortened it a little bit. Now it just goes to after Halloween.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a long
Damn.
season. So the fact that that was his first win of the season was huge.
At number 8, we have the 2014 Brickyard
man.
400. Gordon has been connected to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway throughout his career and his life. So late in his career in 2014, when the Cup Series came to town, it was a huge question asking whether Gordon could break through or not to earn his 5th win there.
Oh my God, yes.
He would definitely answer the call.
He did it. goes back to third and maybe fourth.
That's what I say now is put Casey Kane on the defensive. And we pointed out early on, they've had a lot of very good races, but just find ways not to win once again today.
Already there, bud.
He's in the last lap. And as we look out the window across at the grandstands, all the fans that are here at the Speedway today are now on their feet, watching to see if Jeff Gordon comes back around to take another checkered flag. Final corners. He won the first one in 1994. 20 years later, he wins the 21st. Checkered flag in the Brickyard 400 to Jeff Gordon.
Sitting at number 7.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? That's so
the Brickyard 400.
Yeah, that's where he won the first time.
No, that was his second victory. The first time that NASCAR came to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, because like the Indianapolis 500 has been an institution of American motorsports and just sports in general.
Yeah.
It's run by IndyCar these days, but NASCAR finally came there in 1994, and I failed to mention this earlier. Jeff Gordon was born in the San Francisco area, but he moved with his family to the Indianapolis area when he was like 5 or 6.
Oh.
So he's more of a Hoosier than anything, than a Californian.
Got it.
I could be wrong on those, but the fact that he won his 5th race at Indianapolis with all the other greats of motorsports, winning at the Brickyard, as it's called, 5 times is a big deal.
Really?
Yeah. And also the fact that this is the year before he retired. This is like he's older in his career, and he's still kicking the young guys' butts.
That's kind of cool, man.
It's like Tom Brady still winning Super Bowls with the Bucks.
Yep.
So that's the significance of that.
Sitting at number 7, we can see the 2004 Aaron's 499.
Oh my God.
In 2004, it was common knowledge that DEI owned the restrictor plate tracks of Daytona and Talladega. Heading into the race at Dega, DEI had won 9 of the previous 11 plate races, as well as the last 5 Talladega races in a row. So for Jeff Gordon and the rest of the field, it was going to be an uphill battle to beat Dale Jr. and Michael Waltrip. And to his credit, Gordon fought valiantly. And in the closing laps, he fought a winning battle.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., that 8 car was sideways off turn 4. I don't even think he ever got out of the throttle.
Couldn't. No, lifters or losers here. That's it.
It's in the
Robbie Gordon in the mix now in 5th place, that bright orange singular car.
Trying to get up with his teammate.
Kevin Harvick.
But look at the outside line. Jamie McMurray in the 42 car. Michael Waltrip in the 15. He's fighting his way back up.
Gordon inches ahead.
Right there is where Junior is so strong. Sailing off into the
trouble.
turn.
One car around, and it's Brian Vickers.
All right, the caution is out. And we are past the red flag lap. We are past the red flag lap. But remember, the field was frozen when the caution flag came out.
And who at that moment was the leader? Jeff Gordon will be the leader.
And I think they just told the crowd that too.
Scoreboard has not yet changed to reflect that, but that is what we're being told as of the moment of caution.
Debris all over the place out there, just watch it.
That final stop. And that's what NASCAR was concerned about. A lot of debris on the racetrack.
Probably all Budweiser cans.
However, that debris has come from that section of the grandstand. That's a sad commentary. The fans, of course, they want to see a green flag finish. Safety of the drivers, though, is paramount. And Jeff Gordon will win the Aaron's 499 over Dale Earnhardt Jr.
I'm not sure if they were Pepsi cans or beer cans, but there's a lot of aluminum out there on the track, that's for sure. So I did a burnout over all those cans, and man, I tell you what, it just feels great to get back to victory lane and to celebrate.
At number 6.
So were they were pissed?
They were pissed off for multiple reasons. One, the fact that they didn't get a green flag finish, which that problem has been solved with the whole NASCAR overtime thing.
Okay.
Which is, if a caution comes out and they can't, towards the end of the race, and they can't finish under green, they will extend the race, and they'll drop the green flag, give you 2 more laps. If the leader takes the white flag, starts the final lap, the next flag that comes out will finish the race, either the caution flag or the checkered flag.
Cool. So they addressed it.
Yeah, they addressed it.
That's cool. A sport that knows where it's at fault.
Yeah, exactly. That's debatable, but but yeah, Talladega fans and Alabama. That's
who do they go for? Who is their guy?
I mean, the history of Talladega is the Earnhardts. When you said DEI, that's Dale Earnhardt Incorporated.
Oh.
Now keep in mind this time Dale Earnhardt had passed in the 2001 Daytona 500, so his wife Teresa Earnhardt was head honcho there now.
Wow.
And if you saw earlier the number 8 car, that was Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah, I know the number 8.
Yeah,
so I always thought they had a rivalry. 8 and
they do.
They do.
They did. I mean, now later on in their career, Dale Jr. came over to Hendrick Motorsports after DEI collapsed. Basically, Teresa Earnhardt is the Wicked Witch of the South. That's a whole other story. But anyway, so that context is why Alabama fans who have grown accustomed to seeing both Dale Sr. and Dale Jr. winning at Talladega.
They're used to seeing a 3 and an 8.
Right.
3 or 8.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the fact that, like I was saying earlier, Gordon learned a lot from Earnhardt Sr., and which came in use here at both Talladega and Daytona. And so that's why they threw beer cans, because they were just not happy.
Yeah. All right.
And this, by the way, is where Let's Go Brandon was born.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
That's the same crowd that started Let's Go Brandon.
Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If you know, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
At number 6, there's the 1999 Daytona 500. Well, I was originally going to put the 97 500 on here. I think 99 just felt a little more appropriate. The big thing for me is the symbolism of the victory. Not only did he win the Great American Race, but he won it for a second time in only 7 tries. But he also did this after Dale Earnhardt won his only 500 victory after 20 tries. On top of this, he beat Earnhardt to the line.
Earnhardt right on his back bumper as they come off turn 4. He started to put a move on it. White flag. 2.5 miles to history. Jeff Gordon trying to win his second. Dale Earnhardt trying to win his second. Buddy, where will Earnhardt make the move? Boy, I don't know. Gordon looks awful strong as they come off turn 2 over there down the back straightaway. Kenny Irwin looks to the outside. Right here's where he has to make the move. And he wasn't able to get that run up under Jeff Gordon like he wanted to. But that's what we said Friday. He was this far behind in the International Race of Champions. He looked inside. He goes outside. He looks inside again. Okay, right now he's got to pull right down on that back bumper and try to get him loose coming off turn 4. He does not have the muscle at this point, but he may have some momentum. Here comes Earnhardt. He's all the way to the bottom. Almost in the grab. He slides up the racetrack and Jeff Gordon will win it for the second time. Wow, what a race.
Breaking in number 5.
That had to sting for Dale Sr.
Yeah.
Took 20 times to win it, and this young asshole gets it for his second time.
A second time.
In 7 years.
Wow.
Breaking in number 5, we have what I think is Gordon's most underrated triumph, the 2005 Daytona 500. Throughout the day, he was a top-level competitor, but it was clear that Tony Stewart was a dominant driver of the field. But the 24 would be right on his bumper all race. What helps set this one above the other 500s for me is just the level of competition he had to go against to win this race. Tony Stewart, Dale Jr. at his plate prime, defending champion Kurt Busch, and a Jimmy Johnson who hadn't even peaked yet. All of them contested the finish of the race.
24, 3 to go.
That's what you do when you're in the lead. You just move around, move around.
Look at Kurt Busch in the 97, 3 wide. He's going to make the pass. He gets by Stewart.
And here comes Gordon.
Martin back at 7th, still part of the chase here.
Gordon still thinks he can make that outside car in the wall off the 2. I think it's the 9 car.
But he keeps going.
Debris all over the place.
Yep. Casey Kane bounced off the wall, turn 2.
And Jeff Gordon has made a pass.
Nope, caution is out. The field freezes.
Here you see Dale Earnhardt Jr. goes to the bottom, slams the door on Jimmy Johnson
Yep.
in the 48.
Overtime.
Looks like Johnson's going to get kicked to the high side, though, by Kurt Busch in the 97.
Stewart is blocked in the 20, nowhere to go. It's Junior and Gordon.
Gordon's not going to give up that yellow line. You can bet that.
8 car with you, 2 car gap, then 2 by 2.
Now Junior's got help. Kurt Busch. No, Busch slices to the outside.
Wow.
He wants to win the 500.
Coming outside.
Jeff Gordon pushed
Damn.
Gordon off into turn 3.
Kurt Busch, the next Nextel Cup champion, fights his way to 2nd.
It's a good thing he can't get any closer than that, because I believe he would have probably given Gordon a big shot up the hill.
Here they come, boys. White flag. 1 to go.
Damn.
Scott Riggs to 4th. Stewart looks to go 3 wide. Thinks better of it. He is trapped behind Jimmy Johnson.
Boy, that 97 car of Kurt Busch is a fast piece of equipment right there. He's got to look.
He's the only Ford in the front 5. What can he do?
Look at Scott Riggs in that 10 car. He's trying to get him a top 5 finish in this Daytona 500. And there's Jimmy Johnson on the 48 on the outside, Darrell.
Somebody needs to get up there and go with him, but I don't know if Tony Stewart can run the outside or not. If he hadn't all day.
Busch to the outside. Gordon slams the door on him into turn 3.
Wow.
6 cars have a chance to win it. Jeff Gordon's going to lead him into turn 4. They're 1 mile from home.
Tony Stewart just slid up the racetrack. He and Jimmy Johnson are going to make contact.
They're bouncing off each other.
Wow.
Jeff Gordon's going to win his 3rd Daytona 500.
Wow.
Dale Jr.
At number 4,
Wow, so that's just defense.
That was
just
some
defense.
good mirror driving. You know, being sure you don't let him go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And fun fact, the only driver of that top little bit right there that is still driving today is Kurt Busch, the 97 car.
Wow.
In fact, he's driving for Michael Jordan. Him and Bubba Wallace are on the same team. The team is owned by Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin.
Huh. Cool, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
At number 4, there's the 1994 Brickyard 400. This race was one of the most hyped races in NASCAR history, as everyone in the sport wanted to race at the famous facility. The entry list for this race saw 87 teams entered. No, I did not say that wrong. 87 teams entered into this race. So when Wonder Boy was up front competing for the win at the end, it sent shockwaves. The 600 win wasn't a fluke.
Wow.
There's Brett 09. It looks like Brett's getting a little bit closer, but does he have time? He is getting closer. On to the backstretch now with less than 1/2 lap to go for Jeff Gordon. He eyes turn number 3. Listen to the crowd as they acknowledge Jeff Gordon when he goes by. It's an unbelievable situation in Indianapolis. Here he is in the 4th turn. This is his final trip around turn number 4. And Jeff Gordon is about to write his name in the racing history books. Years from today, when 79 stock car races have been run here, we'll remember the name. Jeff Gordon, winner of the inaugural Brickyard 400.
Earning
Wow. So he was the first winner.
Yeah, of the Brickyard.
Wow.
Yeah. Like we were talking about earlier. That's just a
something
big
that just-
freaking deal.
Yeah. So that's something that can never be erased.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
If you're the first
at a very historical track.
Wow.
That is a bragging right you will have forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. 87 cars entered this.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is there a limit now?
Yeah. I mean, at the time it was 43 cars. Nowadays it's 40. So that was a big deal that so many people entered that race.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And side note, going back to the Earnhardt-Gordon rivalry, Earnhardt won this race the next year in 95, kind of cementing its place in NASCAR.
Winning bronze on the podium here at number 3, we have Phoenix in 2007. If it didn't seem obvious from what I was talking about before, there was a huge unrivaled connection between Dale Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon. The two were competitive rivals, but at the same time respected the hell out of each other. So when Gordon could reach Earnhardt's mark of 76 wins, it was a huge and significant moment not only for Gordon's career, but for his life.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember I was watching this with my dad. This is, when we're still talking. And he was a huge Earnhardt fan. Like, the fact that I kind of became a Gordon fan to piss him off. But, like, I remember watching this, and he was pissed. He was angry.
Why?
Because
I don't know the significance of this. So Senior had already passed.
Yeah.
And he's doing this as a nod to the great.
Right. Because this was Jeff Gordon's 76th career win, and he matched Dale Earnhardt's win total. So this was just a nod of respect to his former competitor.
Whereas someone else might have thought it was like a spit in the face.
Right.
Got it.
Right. My dad thought it was a spit in the face.
Got it.
But,
it's how you take it.
Exactly.
Chevy congratulates Jeff Gordon, winner of the Subway Fresh Fit 500. Chevy, an American revolution. As Jeff Gordon salutes the Richard Childress-owned number 3 as it was driven by Dale Earnhardt to 6 of his 7 Nextel Cup championships tonight. Gordon ties Earnhardt for career wins in Nextel Cup racing.
And I don't think there's any question. We've known for years that Jeff Gordon's going to rewrite the record book. I mean, he's a young man. He's still got a lot of racing ahead of him, a lot of wins, championships. We always knew he would rewrite the record books.
Now, another big moment in Gordon's career was the day he secured the lone spot at 3rd on NASCAR's all-time win list in Cup. After almost 20 years of racing and only one win in the last 3 years, 2011 was a rebirth for the driver of the 24. And after winning twice already, he was tied with Bobby Allison and Darrell Waltrip for 3rd on the all-time win list at 84. So how would he be able to break the tie? Well, by beating the man he handpicked to drive for he and Rick Hendrick, the man who basically dethroned him as NASCAR's best driver.
But it's probably still affecting their cars. They're close enough. And Johnson gets a big run off of 2 now.
Coming to the white flag. So far, Gordon's been able to hold him off. Can he do it for another lap and a quarter? Johnson's gotten a big run off turn 4 several times on Gordon, but not been able to finish the pass. He slides.
Time out. I'm sorry. So, who's number 28? What's the significance?
28 or 48?
48.
That's Jimmy Johnson. Basically,
that's who Gordon brought in.
Yeah. In 2002, there was another ride opening up at Hendrick Motorsports, and Jeff Gordon suggested Jimmy Johnson to Rick Hendrick, and in like throughout his career, like Jimmy Johnson basically dethroned Jeff Gordon as the GOAT of NASCAR, winning 7 championships, tying Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt, and like 83 wins, but still like up there, not Jeff Gordon level, but like basically, if Jeff Gordon learned a lot from Dale Earnhardt, then Jimmy Johnson learned a lot from Jeff Gordon.
And that's funny because I see the significance. He's basically doubled Jeff Gordon's number.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're going to replace Jeff Gordon, if you're going to be the new Jeff Gordon,
Yeah, exactly.
48. It's 24, 48.
Yeah, double that.
Smart.
Yep. You get it. You
Yep.
get it. And this race, like, this is where Jeff Gordon became the number 3 on the all-time win list.
Oh, shit.
And I don't know if you could notice, like, them going through the corners, like, they are Tokyo drifting it. Like,
Wow.
like their tires
They're
were
more
worn out.
sliding than driving.
Yeah. The old Atlanta Motor Speedway surface ate up tires like they were donuts.
Huh.
And they made it so that you didn't have a lot of grip. And it was a driver's racetrack. But now they've repaved it and basically turned it into a super speedway.
Okay. So with the big...
With a lot of banking and drafting. But, yeah, this was like 2 of the most skilled drivers of all NASCAR duking it out.
Last lap. Gordon gaining some ground. Can he hang on?
He's sliding.
Yeah, slide job.
Sideways as he went to the gas hard.
Wow.
Look at him.
Sliding off the corner. Half a lap to go. There is lap traffic ahead. We've had fantastic finishes in Atlanta. Will this be another side-by-side run to
Oh,
the
shit.
checkers? It's going to be a sideways run to the checkers. Johnson tries to get there. Can't
Wow.
Career win number 85. Jeff Gordon, 3rd on NASCAR's all-time win list.
Wow.
So now,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was something.
That was
something.
That was amazing. A battle of the champions.
Yep.
And by the way, that whole, I don't know if you saw in the stands, they were kind of empty, but this is because this race was on Labor Day weekend and it was rained out and they had to push it to Tuesday.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that happens a lot in NASCAR, unfortunately.
So now, after seeing these, you must be thinking, what is Jeff Gordon's best win? What win takes gold in the competition? And to me, it's his last win at Martinsville Speedway on November 1st, 2015. Gordon had announced that 2015 would be his final season, and while the year would become a celebration of his illustrious career, it was far from perfect, as through 32 races, he was winless. But after Matt Kenseth kamikaze dive-bombed Joey Logano out of the race, the door was kicked wide open for the win, and Gordon was right there to fill the vacancy.
The scheduled distance, 500 laps. This will be a regular attempt at the restart, not a green-white checker.
What does that mean?
Oh, Jamie with a good
What does that mean? What did he just say? What does that mean?
A
regular race start? What does that
it's
mean?
a regular restart. They had not gone over the distance of over the scheduled distance.
Okay,
They
they just reformed.
Yeah.
And just go.
Restarted it like normal. So they didn't have to do a NASCAR overtime.
Okay. Is there ever a time where they reset places? Go back to where they started on the pole?
No, they never do that.
Okay.
No, it's just where you're running at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Off turn 2. That's as good as you could hope for.
Side by side for the lead as they go into 3. McMurray a little higher through 3 and 4. The advantage to the 24. White flag in the air one more time around for Gordon. Jeff Gordon looking for a storybook ending to the 2015 season. Out of 3 and 4, this win's going to punch his ticket to the championship 4. Gordon wins at Martinsville.
Yeah, that's how you say.
For the Hall of Fame, Jeff Gordon, in his final season in the Sprint Cup Series, gets win number 93 on his career, and more importantly, he moves into a position where he could get his 5th championship.
But I have never seen you celebrate like that.
Yeah! We're going to Homestead!
Most meaningful win of your career, Jeff?
It was a joke. I'm coming back next year. I'm just
And with
All right. So I am pissed that I was not able to get tickets to that race in Martinsville. That's in my home, 20 minutes from where I grew up, over the North Carolina border. And man,
So how how do you rank this? Did he do a good job putting these races together?
Oh yeah. He did a really good job. Like the Iceberg, like this is the channel name. I watch him all the time for like race recaps and like historical stuff about NASCAR and auto racing in general. And he does a really good job. So I knew that this was going to be an automatic 2 thumbs up.
Well,
so
I wish, like, since I'm just kind of dipping my toe into motorsports.
Yeah.
I have yet to dip my toe into the history and significance of motorsport. Like, yeah. I knew that there was always a thing between Junior and him.
Yeah.
I knew that. Just from growing up, you see ESPN reels and tickers. And
right.
You see it.
It transcended regular motorsport fan. It just into the mainstream of sports in general.
It was mainstream sports.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Because I wasn't a NASCAR fan. I didn't know. I didn't know enough to care enough.
Right.
But I knew that there was contention. I couldn't tell you why at all. And that's what the part that I need to learn is why.
Yeah.
Not that there was. Why was there? You know.
Yeah. Well, I think that's another video.
Oh,
for sure. We could do that. And
for sure.
If you want to see that, let us know. And
definitely.
If you want us to dive into more NASCAR related content, I mean, a lot of you have come over to this channel for our reactions to Formula One, to Rally, to V8 Supercars, other motorsports that are not NASCAR.
Yep.
So if you want us to keep going down that and maybe explain some stuff, like at least me explain things.
I won't.
You reacting to it.
Yep, I won't explain nothing. Don't look to me.
Let us know. So anyway, thanks for entertaining this for me, and I really appreciate that.
Of course, man. I just wish I knew more what was going on.
Hey, that's the point of America Week.
That's the point of reactions.
Exactly. And thank y'all for liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting that bell, and sharing with your friends.
Definitely, guys.
And until next time, wash your hands, scrub your toes, wipe your ass, blow your nose, embrace the suck.
And unplug and go do something epic.
We'll see y'all next time.
Later.